Hot spark plugs are generally used in aircraft power plants with the comparatively low operating temperatures. Comparatively low operating temperatures. Hot spark plugs with a long path for heat to follow when traveling from the nose core insulator to the cylinder head, or using engine with comparatively low operating temperatures. The combustion deposit burn off of the hot spark plug rather than fouling the spark plug. So hot spark plug is generally used in aircraft power plants with comparatively low operating temperatures. Comparatively low operating temperatures. The purpose of a safety gap in a magneto is to safety gap in a magneto. Safety gap in a magneto protect the high voltage winding from damage. Safety gap in a magneto protect the high voltage winding from damage. Which of the following statement regarding magneto switch circuit is not true? Which of the following statement magneto switch circuit is not true? In both positions, the right and left magneto circuits are grounded. That is not true. It's not true that in both positions, the right and left mags are grounded. So, which is true? In this question, we're looking for alternative that is not true. So when magneto switch is in both positions, the ground circuit for both magnetos are open and neither magneto is grounded. In the off position, neither right or left magneto are open. That's true. In the right position, the right magneto is open, and the left magneto circuit is grounded. So the one that is not true, in both positions, the right and left magneto circuit is grounded. That is not true. Next, the greatest density of flux lines in the magnetic circuit of a rotating magnet type magneto occurs when the magnet is in what position? The greatest density of flux, it's in the full alignment with field shoe faces. Full alignment with field shoe faces. The greatest density of flux. The greatest flux density in the magnetic circuit of a rotating magnet type magneto occurs when the magnet is in its full registered position. In the full registered position, the magnet is fully aligned with its pole shoes faces. Platinum iridium. The statement 1 is true. Find why your spark plugs lend themselves easy gap adjustments. However, caution must be exercised when closing the gap, as the ground electrodes, especially iridium electrodes, are quite brittle and can fracture if they are improperly handled. Statement true is not true. So the wire gauge should not be placed between the electrodes when moving the ground electrodes. On massive electrode spark plug, if the wire gauge is between the electrodes, pressure will be applied to the center electrode, and the nose core insulator will be strained and probably cracked. So the one is true, the platinum iridium ground electrode used on fine wire spark plugs extremely brittle and can be broken if they're improperly handled or adjusted. Aircraft magneto hardware are usually ventilated in order to provide cooling and remove corrosive gases produced by normal arcing. Provide cooling and remove corrosive gases produced by normal arcing. When testing a magneto distributor block for electrical leakage, which of the following pieces of test equipment should be used? I'm going to say a high tension harness tester. A high tension harness tester. Magneto breaker points must be timed to open when magneto breaker points must be timed to open when the greatest magnetic field stress exists in the magnetic circuit. The greatest magnetic field stress exists in the magnetic circuit. My water. Oh. Okay. Ignition check during engine run-up indicates a slow drop in RPM. This is usually caused by defective high tension, incorrect ignition timing, or valve adjustment. Ignition check during engine run-up indicates a slow drop in RPM. This is usually caused by incorrect ignition timing or valve adjustment. When the ignition switch on a single engine aircraft is turned to the off position, when an ignition switch of a single recip engine is turned to the off, all circuits are automatic. Now the primary circuit of both magneto is grounded. When the ignition switch for single engine aircraft is turned to the off, the primary circuit of both magneto is grounded. When performing a magneto ground check on an engine, correct operation is included by a slight drop in RPM. The numbers appearing on an ignition distributor block indicates numbers appearing on the ignition distributor block indicates sparking order of the distributor. The constrained gap igniter plug used in some gas turbine engines operates at a cooler temperature because the construction is such that the spark occurs beyond the face of the combustion chamber liner. The construction is such that the spark occurs beyond the face of the combustion chamber liner. How many secondary coils are required in a low tension ignition system? I don't even have nothing in my nose, bruh. Hold on. Hold on. I need one of those things. I'm tired of this shit. I need to borrow that thing. Sailing. I wanna believe in the same. Saline is salt in the water. Can you believe that? People are making money off salt and water. This shit just tastes like salt. Oh my god, man. Tastes horrible. So aircraft magneto housing are usually ventilated in order to provide cooling and remove corrosive gases produced by normal arcing. A safety feature usually employed in a direct cranking starter that is used to prevent starter from reaching burst speed is the stator nozzle design that chokes the airflow and stabilizes turbine wheel. If the inlet air driving a direct cranking starter does not terminate on schedule, the design of the inlet air passage will cause a nozzle to become choked, and turbine wheel will stabilize in an overspeed condition rather than continuing to accelerate and destroy itself. Should I not do this video, but we're continuing. Stator nozzle design that chokes the airflow and stabilizes turbine wheel speed. A safety feature usually employed in a direct cranking starter that is used to prevent the starter from reaching burst speed is stator nozzle design that chokes airflow and stabilizes turbine wheel speed. Which of the following is included in a typical turbine engine ignition system? 2 igniter plugs, 1 exciter unit, 2 high tension igniter leads. Which 2 igniter plugs which of the following are included in a typical turbine ignition system? 2 igniter plugs, 1 exciter unit, and 2 high tension igniter leads. Which of the following which of the following are included in a typical turbine engine? 2 igniter plugs, 1 exciter unit, 2 high tension igniter leads. Where's my phone, bruh? Where's my phone, bruh? Some people just stay home on the computer. You. What's up, Andre? Not you. That's right. As an aircraft engine speed is increased, the voltage induced in the primary coil of the magneto increases. Defective spark plug will cause the engine to run rough at all speeds. With power applied to the bus bar, what switch changes will allow the ignition exciter to switch to function? What switch? The engine master and ignition switch. Do that again. Refer to figure 5. With the power applied to the bus bar, what switch usually will allow the ignition exciter test switch to function? Engine master switch and ignition switch. What is the relationship between the distributor and the crankshaft speed of aircraft reciprocating engine? What is the relationship between distributor and crankshaft speed of aircraft reciprocating engine? The distributor turns 1/2 crankshaft speed. The distributor turns 1/2 crankshaft speed. When using a timing light to time the magneto of an aircraft engine, the magneto switch should be placed in the mode position. When using a timing light to time the magneto of the aircraft, the magneto switch should be placed in mode position. Oh my god, I hate this shit. A safety feature usually employed in the pneumatic starter that is used if the clutch does not release from the engine drive at the proper time during start is the flywheel. No. Drive shaft shear point. Drive shaft shear point. The safety feature usually employed in a pneumatic starter, but usually if the clutch does not release. Oh, your camera off.